I always knew I wanted to escape the Matrix before I escaped it. And let me tell you why. If COVID has not woke people up in the last 3 years, I don't know what's wrong with you. The government came along, closed your business down by force, forced you to have a medical procedure you didn't want, made you stay in your house and cover your face because of something with a 99.9% fucking survival rate.
You are done. You are now full slave mode. And that's all they want.
Do you think that's like the government making those decisions?
It's way above the government.
Like, that's what I mean. Like, who do you think is they?
If you're a man with any level of testosterone level and you've been witnessing what's been happening in the world in the last 2 years, I struggle to sleep at night. Like, literally what's happening is fucking crazy. A lot of people out here, it still amazes me, they believe the government care about them.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck.
They don't give a fuck. Corona, well, they locked us in our house, but they want us safe. More people have died from missed doctor's appointments for cancer diagnosis than they did Corona. Shut up. They don't want you safe. They've never cared about you being safe. They never will care about you being safe. If you believe the government wants you safe, you are too far gone to save. What the government wants is slaves. Slavery's not gone anywhere, right? So the old school idea of slavery, let's talk about slavery. A government would get slaves, make them work for free and build things. That's slavery. So they've stopped doing that now. So what do now? They get people, make them build things for money, but the government print all the money. So if a government can create as much as they want of something from thin air, and you'll give up your life for this thing they can create from thin air as much as they want, you are still their slave. That's it. You used to be a slave and you'd work all day and at the end you got food in the house. Now you work all day, you get money, and you spend all your money on a food and a house. Like slavery is still here, my friends. Nothing's changed, right? Nothing's changed. And what they want is they want slaves. They want slaves who are going to comply and pay their taxes. And whatever kind of indoctrination or societal programming they can instill inside of people to keep them doing that, they're going to do. Anything it takes to stop people waking up and realizing, whoa, the government's fucking me here. Let's forget Corona. Let's forget locking us all in our houses and taking our business away. I'm paying how much tax? What? They're helping me how much? If you actually wake up and look around you, you realize you're being destroyed in real time. Don't you see that when the Matrix and the people in charge of it try their very best to destroy objective reality?
Yeah.
When they deliberately convince you things that aren't true, when they destroy objective reality, your mind is now fully open for programming. We're all programmed.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as escaping the slave mind. You must just, to some degree, understand who is programming you and understand if you really want those characteristics. Most people are repeating opinions, and I'm saying, where did you get that opinion from? They can't remember where they got it from. They don't know who even told them. They don't know why they so fervently believe in it. They're just told, they're programmed. You need to genuinely analyze your brain, defrag every single opinion you strongly have and identify where it came from and if that person has your best interest at heart. And what they're trying to do, especially with young men, is program them, because we're all empty vessels. And what you have to do as an adult, as a parent, is to program your child stronger than all of society. It's not an easy job, because all of society, from the YouTube videos to the TV shows to the school, every single thing is trying to program them in one direction. You have to combat that, and that's not an easy job. And if you just sit there and get lazy about it, you will fucking lose. We're all programmed. All of us are programmed to some degree. So it's a scary thing. And when I talk about the Matrix, it primarily applies to men, because men are the backbone of the slave force. We always have been and always will be. And unfortunately now, if you're a law-abiding man inside the Matrix, your future and the life that is laid out for you is nothing but depressing. You're gonna go to school, you're gonna get in debt, you're gonna get a job, you're gonna get a wife, divorce is coming, you're gonna lose the house eventually, your job's shit, inflation's outpacing your wages, you're gonna work, no one's gonna appreciate it, now you're old and your life's over. That is the Matrix for 99% of men. And you need to find a way to escape it. I always knew that the Matrix was coming and that the system is designed to oppress. The people who make the rules do not make the rules for the benefit of us. They make the rules for the benefit of the people who make the rules. And I knew that. And I think every person intrinsically knows that. Like, if it's 4 a.m. and you're sitting in a gas station and a Lambo pulls up, you're probably thinking drug dealer or criminal. You're not thinking, oh, he definitely went to school. Everyone knows this, right?
That's true.
So you have to find a way to escape the Matrix. The system is absolutely broken. It's designed to oppress. And that the majority of people who stick to the rules are going to lose. And if you're a man, it's your job to find a way to not be sticking to those rules enough to escape the Matrix and become free. Because what's actually most crazy about this period of history is that it's actually the easiest time in human history to become rich. And the reason for that is because there's so many people inside the Matrix being destroyed. Money has to go somewhere.
And you're existing inside of a system which is deliberately rigged to make the rich richer and for the poor to stay poor.
Yeah.
And you can sit there and get upset about it. You can sit there and cry about it and say the system needs to change, which is what some people do. I know that's a waste of time, right? That's futile. The best thing to do is to understand the rules of the game and find a way to win. So yes, the game is rigged. Yes, the rich are always going to get richer. Yes, the poor are always going to struggle. And that's the way the game is set up. So you still need to find the best move on the chessboard. There's no point sitting there saying, I want to play a different game, because that's never going to happen. Because the people with the money are the people who have the control and they have the power. And why would they have the game set up any other way? Why would they change it?
I was having a conversation with someone the other day. They were talking about Joe Biden and his relief checks. He gave out $1,400 to all the people in America because of Corona. And he's saying, don't you think he's good that he's helping the poor? I said, you think that helps the poor? Let's talk about this. You give 100 people a $1,400 check, right? Everyone understands you can't just leave it in the bank forever because of inflation. The value goes down, because what happens when they print trillions of dollars from the sky? The dollar becomes less valuable. And now we're living in a world right now where inflation's getting out of control, especially in America, right? In the last year, inflation's up like 6-7%. So no poor person is going to take that money and just leave it in the bank. They're going to either spend it or invest it. Let's say there's 100 poor people and the 100 poor people spend their money. What do they spend it with? Businesses. Who owns businesses? Rich people. So now each one rich person who owns a business gets 10 poor people's money or 20 poor people's money. Amazon, their stock price went up 30%. Why? Because people are getting stimulus checks and spending it on Amazon. It all went to the rich guy. And then they go, oh yeah, but what about if they invest it? Invest it where? Invest it in the stock market? That increases the stock price. Who owns the company? Rich people. You've made them richer. What if you and all your poor friends, 20 poor friends, it'd be more than 20, 200 poor friends, put all your money in together and bought one house between you? That still takes one house off the market and raises the property value of that area. Who already owns those expensive houses? Rich people. It always ends up back with the rich people. You can't stop making the rich richer. You cannot stop it. People inside the matrix don't understand what's happening. And they're going to sit there and go, but the government cares about me. He gave me $1,400. The government doesn't give a shit about you. The government is looking after its friends. The government gave all the slaves a little bit of pocket money so they can send it all to the rich guys. It's all a scam. And people inside of the matrix do not understand. It's all a scam. It's all a lie. The idea that government cares about them is a lie. The government is never going to tell you anything that's going to wake you up. The government's going to teach you things that are going to make you subservient and compliant. They're going to tell you all this crap about identifying as a panda and all this other shit is not an accident. When they can convince the average person on the street to pretend that some other person is a panda because they said so, you are fully in the slave mindset. When it comes on the news, if someone says they're a panda, you have to agree they're a panda. Otherwise, you are racist and a bigot. And you go, okay.
I always knew that the Matrix existed. Even when I was going to school and they're sitting there going, you're not going to get a good job if you don't get good grades. I was the one sitting there going, you're a liar. Shut up. I just knew the teacher was lying. I knew school was bullshit. I knew college was bullshit. I knew university was a lie. I always knew it was a trick and a con. I didn't truly understand things to the level I understand them now. But I had an intrinsic understanding, and I think everybody does. I think everybody knows that the system and the path they lay out for you is not a path that's going to lead to where you want to be. And I didn't know what the other path was, but that intrinsic distrust for the system and that distrust for the things they wanted me to do made me search for other avenues. And if you speak to the people who are richest, if you speak to the people you know, this is for everyone at home as well, if you speak to the people you know who have the most money and go up to them and say, hey, what made you rich? None of them say school. The educational system exists in a vacuum because the loans that they'll give you, you can only spend on that education. If they were to open it up to fair market, nobody would go university. If they're to say, here's 50 G's, you can buy Bitcoin, you can start a business, you can put a house deposit, or you can buy a degree. Who's going to choose a degree? No one. So they deliberately link the loan to the education and say you can only have one with the other because then they don't exist in a fair and open economy because they wouldn't be able to succeed in a fair and open economy because they are selling a scam. They're selling a lie. It's like in chess, they say good moves come from good positions. It's true. You can't find a good move from a terrible position, right? If you're sitting at home with no money, it's hard to invest in Bitcoin at $1. Doesn't matter what it goes to, right? You got to be in a good position to take advantage of things. So you've always got to be in a position where you have a good network, you have good information, you have some kind of liquid money, you have the ability to survive without that money, you can take a risk. Like, it's hard to set yourself up. I'm in a position now where I'm in the NBA. I'm an NBA player. I can never go broke again. So it doesn't matter, right? Once you're in the NBA, I can throw $1 million at something. It doesn't matter if it works or not. So for me, it doesn't make a difference. And that's why it's so much easier. They always say the first million is the hardest, and they're completely right. Once you get to a certain point, you can gamble to a degree, right?
You know what's amazing? Now I have money. Lots of people always ask me, how do I get rich? And I say, when's the last time you talked about money? When's the last time you sat down with your friends and refused to talk about anything else but how to make money. How are you making money? How are you making money? How am I making money? How can we make money together? How's that guy making money? How's that coffee shop there making money? Is that coffee shop making money? I don't know. Do they sell cake? No. Why don't they sell cake? Everyone in here is a businessman. If they had a cute young waitress, a girl, instead of a guy, they'd probably sell more coffee. Like, no one analyzes anything. They just want to get rich, right? I want to be rich, but they have no plan to get rich. And a hope and a plan are very different things. I explain this to people all the time. Everyone has a dream, but no one has a plan. And nothing good is going to happen on accident, right? I didn't become world champion on accident. I didn't wake up and someone go, how'd you become world champion? And I went, oops. You have to plan for it.